should be streaming now. I'll just check the. I will do that now. Yeah. There we go. Yeah, I just set it up just now, so Hey everyone, welcome to day 3 of the StarCraft 2 AI Arena tournaments. I'm here once again with Ketroc. How you doing?
Hey, how's it going?
And Laughing Games. Good to have you back.
Hello, hello.
And we've had the first 2 rounds, which is the 2 rounds of the best of ones, where we saw all 16 bots, sorry, in action on each of the days. They were very exciting. Now we've got to the stage of the tournament where we're all down to best of threes. We're going to be seeing some elimination matches tonight and also some matches where bots can progress to the round of 8. Should be a fun one. Yeah, so let's just see where we are with our with the tournament so far. So we have 4 bots on 2 and 0, which is -0 Eris, Zozo, and Zena. Uh, 4 bots that will be facing elimination if they lose another one, which is 12 bot, Theo, Bembot BC, and Terrain. And the other 8 bots in the tournament have both got 1 win and 1 loss. You'll need 3 wins to progress or 3 losses to go out in this tournament. So yeah, I mean, the big surprise so far has been Bembot BC seeing in the 0-2 bracket. That's not been great for him.
Yeah, definitely a little bit concerning for those of us that are Benbot fans.
And let's face it, we're all Bembot fans, right? Bembot's been a staple of our tournaments for a long, long time. So if you're not a Bembot BC fan, then what have you been doing all this time, right? Uh,
He is the bot that's always counted out but never actually goes out too, so I could definitely see him swinging this around to a 3-2.
yeah, definitely. Dyson's just put up in the chat that yes, I have a mattress up against the wall. Don't worry. It's because I had to buy a new mattress. I had to have somewhere to store it. By the way, bought a new mattress for my bed this week. It came with an instruction manual. Like,
How to
what?
sleep?
I mean,
This
seriously,
side up.
I do not need an instruction manual for a mattress. Anyway,
Famous last words.
wait until I get no sleep on it or whatever. But yeah, all right. Anyway, let's take a look. Our first match tonight will be 12 pool bot facing elimination, seeded 14th, 0-1 versus Zena and Carolina so far, but doing well. And not just 12 pool now.
Yeah,
No.
it's got a nice forward rush. Yeah.
Yeah, and he'll be up against Theo. Theo's actually really impressed me. Like, against Micro Machine certainly had a winning tactic. Didn't do so well against one test. But seeded 13 and with a good chance, I think.
Yeah, it's going to be really interesting because we've seen a ZVP and a ZVT for Theo, and it went for Baneling busts. Now it's going to be up against a Zerg, which, I mean, you don't really Baneling bust against, so I'm kind of curious to see what the bot author's done with those Banelings, whether they'll go for drones or units or what.
Yeah, it'll be a fun one to see. All right, let's get into it with game 1. Uh,
All right.
get everything set up.
Okay, spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have the red Zerg 12 pool bot. And in the bottom left, we have the blue Zerg, Theo. Little ZVZ action here.
Yeah, ZVZ between 2 rather aggressive bots, so it's gonna be interesting to see which unit is the bigger aggressor, I suppose, as 12 pool bot goes for its pool. Theo does like to go for an expansion for the extra larva with its build, but yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, gas in the pool, which is probably a really good counter to a 12 pool, actually. You always want your pool to just be slightly after your opponents. That way you can still defend by the time they arrive.
Yeah, that's definitely true. And I mean, the rush we saw from 12 pool bot in previous matches, it wasn't as quick of a rush. Like I mean, it made a Roach Warren, so we'll see if it does that again. And it does look like it's moving down to take an expansion on the low ground. So both these bots are actually taking expansions, but I'm not sure how honest their intentions are as far as macroing up or anything like that is concerned.
Yeah, I didn't actually see the pool timing. I thought that was 12 pool. So I think this is going to be Mastling, but it could be Roachhorn. Okay, here's the Roachhorn. Yeah, so it's going to be the Roach Rush out of 12 pool bots, which does seem like a little bit stronger in ZVZ, although Lings can catch your opponent off guard.
Yeah, Roach. I mean, Lings generally don't do that good against Roaches, and Theo has only built Lings and Banelings we've seen so far. At this, at the same time, I'm not sure if I don't believe 12 Pool Bot utilizes Burrow or anything like that. So the Lings may actually be able to kill the Roaches, unlike against a lot of other Zergs. So yeah, let's just watch as that Roach Warren is getting closer to completion, and both bots are going to have their natural up. But there's the Baneling Nest for Theo.
Interesting. I wasn't sure if you could go Bailing Nest in ZVZ. Obviously, for human play, Bailings are really nice versus Zerglings, but it seems like Theo just uses it for breaking through walls, and obviously there's no walls against a Zerg opponent.
Yeah, we'll see. Maybe they can get some good connections against the Roaches of 12 Pool Bot. That is a possibility.
Yeah,
Because
and
of
speaking
12
of
Pool
which,
Bot.
yeah, 5 of them on the way right now, so.
Yeah, Ling speed about to finish up for Theo. Like, it's going to be really interesting. Okay, Roaches are moving out for 12 Pool Bots, so these bots shouldn't clash on 12 Pool Bot's side of the map. At least they may meet in the middle. We'll see. But again, there's no burrow on these Roaches. So they should actually get surrounded by the Lings, or the Lings are just ignoring the Roaches. And okay, they do find one of them, get a surround, and kill that off. But it's going to be a bit of a high-cost fight for Theo.
Yeah, pretty good surface area. Would have been nice if you attacked the front 3.
Yeah, not the worst surround in the world. Then it starts morphing those Lings into Banelings. Just not in the most ideal spot, that's for sure. And now it is just trickling out Lings into Roaches, which is definitely not what you want to do.
No.
So it does seem that 12 Pool Bot is building up quite a nice army that Theo's going to have a hard time stopping.
It is an interesting idea with Theo. Like, a lot of times when human players play Roach Ravager, when a Roach gets in the red, they morph it into a Ravager, and it's like a free heal. When it, and you can see Theo trying to do the same things with Lings and Bailings. So he waits until the Lings are like half health and then turns into a Bailing. But
I am wondering if that was like intentional, or if it's just that they were the most far forward Lings or not.
Yeah,
It's tough to say, but anyway, yeah, Theo just probably gonna lose this one, as 12 Pool Bot has got a Roach army. Roaches beat Lings in the rock paper scissors sort of thing. So unless you build up enough Lings, which Theo isn't doing, which is why unit pooling is sometimes important with your bot as far as sending in reinforcements. Like as right now we're just seeing Lings run in and die 2 by 2, which isn't great. And 12 Pool Bot gets the natural hatchery, and it's now going to be able to push up into the main base after it finishes killing this bit of larva and stuff.
Larva. In some ways, Larva is like the toughest unit in the game. So many units do 1/2 damage per attack.
It really can mess with bots pathing and stuff at times, for sure.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, it just looked like Theo didn't quite get the right targets with the Lings to start with, but that was a good fight.
There are definitely maps where you pass each other, where you don't see each other when you're both crossing the map at the same time. So that would be more interesting if it turns into more of a base trade sort of idea.
If you're if you're wondering why we stopped the game early, we did actually have a crash from Theo in that last game at the end.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, unfortunately it didn't survive all the way to see its natural end, its main base end, but I don't think the result was in doubt, really.
Yeah, at least it wasn't the winning bot that crashed or anything like that.
Yeah.
So that's good.
All right, let's have a look.
I think the most common error almost every new bot maker makes is that you always assume that your main base exists. So you always
Yeah.
you go to click on your command center, it's like, oh well, null pointer exception because it doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah, I've had that a few times. All right, let's have a look at game 2.
Okay, so this time spawning down in the bottom right, up 1-0. It is the returning bot, 12 Fool bot. And in the top left, the other Zerg is the blue Zerg, Theo, the double H.
Yeah, so we'll see how the pathing is going to work out on this map, whether that'll change up the results. I think it's probably safe to say we'll see the same strategies from both of these bots.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember Ephemeron. I think both paths go through the middle of the map. They might take a different ramp, but I think they'll see each other.
I
Or a
think
different
so
bridge,
as well.
I should say. Yeah. Yeah, but even last game, like there were 3 roaches like off on their own in the front. I think they could have been surrounded and picked off pretty quickly if you didn't run by and fight the ones that halfway.
Yeah,
further in.
definitely.
Yeah.
So those line of sight blockers might have messed with 12 Pool Bot a little bit, or pardon me, with Theo a little bit. So yeah, maybe it will be able to catch the first few roaches and sort of prevent that roach snowball from happening.
And I think you're right. I think we're seeing similar builds out of both opponents. We have the gas pool versus the pool gas. I can see that Theo has the speed mining built into his bot.
Okay, it does?
Yeah, so I'm probably using one of those frameworks that has it built right in.
Okay,
nice.
good to see. It's kind of a must-do for your bots these days.
Yeah, I mean, back in the days, the Micro Machine was at the very top of the ladder. A lot of bots started implementing this speed mining, and it didn't knock Micro Machine off the top of the ladder. So if your bot does something stupid, it doesn't matter if it has like 7% more income. It's still doing something stupid.
That's definitely true.
Okay, first 2 lings arrive. They do see the hatchery that near completion for Theo. No response out of Theo as he's keeping his ling count hidden in the main base. First roaches on the way for 12 full bots. And yeah, nothing but roaches on that production tab.
Yeah, that is a lot of roaches. 12 Pool Bot saying macro roach, which is interesting, seeing as how it's going to be getting quite aggressive.
Yeah, doesn't build a single drone. Macro roach.
Yeah, those lings.
It is more macro than this 12 pool ling all in. We'll give him that.
It's true.
Like when my bot doesn't go expansion first, I call it a 1 base build.
Hey, here we go. Ling's gonna find the first roach, so that's better for Theo in this interaction. However, 12 Pool Bot did pull back the other 2 roaches. The Lings are getting us around. That's 1 dead roach. This is actually way closer than the previous fight, as Banelings are now starting to morph on the front lines. It's just going to be a matter of Roach Flood now versus, well, Ling Flood, but Theo's about to have a few Banelings finish up. That could definitely be big. We'll see if 12 Pool Bot splits its Lings against the Banelings, which kind of just wander forward, and it does get a great connection. 2 roaches left, another Baneling wandering forward, gets a connection. This game is actually looking pretty good for Theo right now.
Yeah, Choful bot loves to follow up with extra lings because they can cross the map quicker, but then that just makes them fodder for the Banelings, as we're seeing here.
How about that? A bit of a different result so far. We'll see if 12 Pool Bot can muster up enough lings to kill Theo. The difference is speed versus no speed right now, although 12 Pool Bot is researching speed. But Theo has lost its snowball of lings now, and it's just feeding them in 1 by 1, which is not ideal.
No, definitely not. Especially as the damage is being spread between multiple lings. I was hoping he'd at least try to focus down the weak ones, as that's something bots can do pretty well. But looks like more of an A move. So I think the snowball is now snowing in the other direction. There's going to be like a full boulder by the time it arrives at Theo's base here.
Yeah, Theo did kill off a few drones of 12 pool bot to slow it down a bit, but 12 pool bot's actually replacing those. It's now got its own speed. The only way I see this game turning around for Theo potentially is if the queen at its natural sort of soaks and then allows it to turn the fight around, but
Yeah. Don't
it
sleep
doesn't
on
look
the broodlings either. When that hatchery
that's
goes down,
true.
you combine that with like a wave of like 6 lings popping at that moment.
Queen does go down, so it will be on the broodlings to try and save the day.
Theo's actually stopped producing altogether. He's floating 400 minerals
okay.
now. So I think
maybe
Theo's
it-
done with this game.
Okay, well done, 12 pool bot. The Supreme Cheeser will be able to knock out Theo with a nice clean 2-0.
Very
Yeah,
nice.
Yeah.
nicely done by 12 pool bot there. Yeah, so unfortunately Theo does exit our tournament, but like for a new bot, done really well to get there, and any bots in the tournaments is a good practice, and he'll be back, I'm sure. So
Yeah. I mean, that looks like the start of a great bot. You know,
yeah,
things are very basic at the moment for that, but that's a good start. He made a nice build and had some success, and enough success to get him into the tournament.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So yeah, well done, Theo, and hopefully we'll see a lot more of you in the future. But next up, we have Terrain, seeded 12th. But yes, lost it. Terrain's had a really bad run because I think like getting unlucky to come up against Eris and then Sharkbot, which is also a really well made bot. Like, I mean, it's not had the best of draws so far, has it?
Yeah, and then to be in the elimination match against Benbot was not not
Yeah,
great, that's for sure.
yeah. Sorry,
That has to be
Terrain.
the toughest run. Sharkbot is 0-1 and Benbot is 0-2.
Yeah.
And
I
even
mean,
the 0-0 bot was the best bot in the entire ladder. That's rough.
that's a harsh run there. Benbot BC, again, we never expected to find him here, but here he is. And again, not an easy route. 0-1 against your bot Ketroc, and then Sharpened Edge managed to get the win there. So yeah, this is going to be a fun game, I think.
Yeah, it's gonna be. Yeah, I think it definitely should be a great series. Regardless, it's gonna be a great test for Terrain, and yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, like it did very well against. I believe it was the cheese
It's,
of Theo, was it or
yeah. So against
or
It was
Sharkbot,
Eris and
Terrain,
Sharkbot,
Shark,
so
pardon me, right? Yeah.
yeah. Against Sharkbot, I think he had a reasonably decent performance, but yeah, Sharkbot,
mhm.
it really is just a really well-made bot that can deal with a lot of cheeses as well as put them out. So yeah, let's have a look and see how we do.
Yeah, let's hop into this. I'm excited.
Yeah,
Yeah.
should be a good one. One sec, I'll just get that changed over.
Okay, so spawning up in the top left, we have the red Terran and Benbot BC, and it's going to be a TVT. So Terrain is going to be the blue Terran in the bottom right. This map kind of has like a funky natural. There's not really a choke point in front of it. There's like a ramp, but then you can go around that ramp. So one of those maps where it might be difficult for Benbot to get his like, fortified front line that he loves so much. Of course, as I say that, he's also doing the other thing he loves so much, which is going to be the proxy barracks.
Yeah, definitely a very strong build. So it's going to be a good test for Terrain, whether it can potentially deal with something like a bunker contain, or whether it'll send SCVs to their death endlessly.
Yeah, and that's exactly what it is a test. I mean, it's not a huge investment in the game, and it's not a huge investment in your time to code, but
Yeah.
it can really give headaches to a lot of bots. Darren doesn't get to do the worker rush, but this is our version of like the annoying cheese on the ladder.
Oh yeah, it's so darn strong.
Because basically you have to teach your bot patience, you know? If there's a completed
Yeah.
bunker, you can't just go, because you're just going to be losing one unit at a time for the rest of the game.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, Reaper is on the way for terrain. We'll see how that's going to path forward, as I think that bunker is going to be pretty close to finishing up by the time that Reaper pops out, or it may just be finished already. So hopefully that Reaper has the smarts to not just fight and die next to that bunker. Terrain does eventually go for tanks, I believe, so that could be an end in sight. But oh dear, we do have a command center queued up next to that bunker. Will the SCV turn around, or is it going to go for it? Unfortunately, it looks like it is trying to get up that command center, and so the Reaper isn't really able to help out either. CC gets canceled, but immediately gets restarted. That is not a good sign for terrain.
Yeah. At least he doesn't send SCVs to like continue the building of the.
Yeah.
But every time it dies, he tries to build another one. So.
Yeah, and then the Reaper pathing there wasn't ideal as well. The Reaper was sort of just going back and forth while getting shot. Command center is going to be canceled for the third time.
Yeah, you'll need a counter for that. That's gonna. That's not gonna stop at 3.
Okay, there is enough Marines to actually kill the SCV before it builds the command center, but that just means another is going to get sent out. Terrain is going to be getting blood by this. I believe there is a factory with a tech lab building on it, so maybe we'll see a tank get produced. That could potentially break this, but...
And this means Terrain's losing his SCVs faster, but he's not losing the 100 minerals from canceling the CC every time.
It's true,
So
yeah.
it is saving him a little. I mean, it's still terrible, but it's slightly less terrible than what it once was.
Yeah, hopefully it produces a tank as soon as possible.
Oh, there's one.
And there we go. So that we'll see whether that inches forward or not.
And no more command center attempts too. I guess he
look at
ran out
that.
of money, which is nice. You throw away all your SCVs, so you're going to lose. You're not going to be floating 400 minerals for long, are you? So
Yeah.
and now he has enough production to spend all of his money. So this could turn into like a one-base push, even though it wasn't meant to be an expansion.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's really going to come down to whether this tank inches forward to break the bunker or not.
And I believe we saw Benbot lose this in the past, where like a strong push comes out, breaks the containment, goes across the map, and wins the game.
Yeah, Benbot, it can be vulnerable to certain things like that. So maybe Terrain can do it. The tank is unsieging. The Marines are waiting for it. The tank resieges though. So I'm not sure what Terrain's waiting for. That tank's not stuck, I don't think. It's just hanging out.
Nah, yeah, it can go through the mineral line. It might get bopped around a lot by the speed mining SCVs. Part of the speed mining is you're not mineral walking all the time, so it does cause collisions.
Yeah, it's just a little weird how it's unsieging and then resieging. So I'm not sure what that's about. Benbot, unfortunately.
Yeah, I think he wants to move to where the center of his units are. So every time a new unit pops out of the barracks, the center slightly changes.
Okay, that makes sense.
But then by the time it unsieges, the center's back to where all the other Marines are. Yeah. He's got the ability to heal his own SCVs. That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, every time Marauder pops out, he unsieges.
Yeah, Terrain.
Fortunately, that's a pretty hard containment now with the siege tank there. That's going to be tough to break. Now, if it's positioned well, you can kill the bunker outside of siege tank range, but again, how patient will this bot be to slowly break out?
Terrain is based off the Sharky framework, so that's probably where some of that good behavior does come from. Benbot, though, is happily building up behind this on its side of the map. It's got the natural done. Fusion core on the way, and Terrain is just hard locked on one base for now. We'll see what requirements Terrain needs to meet before it decides to move out and attack.
Yeah.
Okay, Benbot actually deciding to poke on in now. Stim from Terrain, gonna kill these Marines.
Yeah, and not lose a thing with those 2 medevacs, so... just free kills, which is nice. Terrain needs something like that, as Benbot is up to a full 2 base economy at this point. -1 gas.
+1 attack is now done for Terrain. That may be the requirement. It needs to move out, and it is going down this ramp. We'll see if the bio stims forward against these tanks or not, but unfortunately it is 2 tanks and a bunker, so this contain may be quite difficult to break for Terrain.
Yeah, and I also saw the tank on siege, but I don't see it at the front line, which means maybe... Okay, it was able... It's not stuck, so that's good. It's just not committing to go down there, and now there's 2 tanks in the bunker. I do not see this going well for Terrain. The time to break out is probably come and gone.
Yeah, that's just the strength of this strategy for Benbot. It's a low commitment, but like it just completely kills some bots. We've got a Medivac getting taken out by a bunker in the turret. It's just looking like a slow death here for Terrain. And like you said, it's incredibly efficient programming from the bot author of Benbot. Unless someone has specifically programmed something against this, it's not like your bot is gonna have the logic to overcome something like this.
He has the air control and he has tanks. Like, he has the ability to like kill the bunker and kill the siege tanks from... Well, Benbot doesn't have vision.
Yeah,
tank versus tank battles is all about who has vision, because tanks shoot further than they can see. So
it has the pieces to
exactly
potentially break out.
The tanks are kind of wanting to get down
slowly
there.
Getting further forward. Yeah, Vikings.
Okay, that's a problem.
Oh, yeah, battle cruiser. Uh-oh.
Nice Viking micro though. I don't think the VC is ever going to be able to kill the Vikings.
Yeah.
But they can pick off Marines and teleport away though, which is pretty good as well.
Okay, Terrain has a tank moving down. Will it siege up? It does siege up, and it does seem to get into a good position where it's sieging the bunker. Friendly fire, though, allows the tank to be killed. Traitor unit.
Too bad Benbot could not see that siege tank, so it was going to slowly break its way out. At least until Benbot brings another Viking there. Benbot, meanwhile, is on a full 4 base economy, and just a matter of time.
Yeah, Terrain has got to be getting close to mining out as well, which is very problematic.
There is no SCV repairing for Benbot, so... I mean, Terrain might break out before he dies. Like, all this damage is permanent that's going into the bunker and tanks.
Yeah, we'll see. 2 tanks sieging up on the low ground, gonna kill off some bio. Vikings should be able to handle the battle cruiser once again. However, Yamato cannon means that is not free for Terrain to deal with the BC. Another tank sieges up on the front lines, but that one does get picked off, which is, again, unfortunate.
Yeah, it still has air control. So, for now, Terrain survives. Question is, when does Benbot want to win? All right, now air control is questionable. Has 3 Vikings arrived for Benbot PC.
Yeah, Terrain doing what it can, but it's just not really possible to win from this position.
1 Viking apiece, 2nd Viking arrives for Benbot. I wonder if with air control, Benbot will finally start inching the tanks forward or not.
Yeah, or eventually the battle cruiser may just be able to overpower, as once those Vikings are gone, it should be able to handle the Marines.
What a production tab for Benbot. Like, what upgrade do you want? Yes. I will take them all.
It really marches to the beat of its own drum. It just, so yeah, I'll just keep doing my thing, macroing up.
3 mineral patches remain for Terrain. He's actually been doing a good job of spending his money. I'll give him that much.
It is, yeah. There's that battle cruiser now unopposed by the Vikings, able to fight the Marines.
Yeah,
Yamato
Marines
cannon.
Marine's actually not wanting to engage either. I think they're afraid of the siege tanks, so they're just dying to the
Yeah.
BC without shooting back, and I think that should be game. Nothing to oppose
Yeah.
the siege tank, no money coming in. One
Very
Viking.
slow death with the battle cruiser teleport, though.
Yeah, one Viking was there, so it slowly got him. There we go.
Then Bob finally prints the cat tag. Attack with tanks once it's at 200 supply.
Yeah,
Yeah,
really
sometimes you would, if for no other reason, you want to dump certain units when you max out.
Yeah, really well done there from Benbot. Keeps himself alive in the tournament. Up for Terrain. I think like Terrain would have been fine if he just hadn't have got caught out by the bunker there. If he could have just edged his tanks forwards a little bit. But yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah, it was a tough one. He did give up a lot of money early on from trying to expand to the low ground.
Yeah.
So that kind of hurts his ability to break out as well.
Yeah.
You do not want to be the next SCV in line for that. All right.
I think he needs like the Reaper to pick off the SCV building the bunker, or he needs to Benbot to give him some reprieve and not go for the bunker rush in game 2.
Yeah. Let's have a look.
Yeah, I'm not sure Benbot's that nice though. So we'll see.
Yeah.
Unfortunately not.
I mean, Benbot doesn't always do that build. I'm not sure if he needs to lose with it to change his mind, but
I think it does.
I do see bunker rush right in the first tag though, so he's going for it.
Oh, Benbot.
All right, so Benbot spawning in the bottom right to this corner this time has the red Terran and the blue Terran on his last legs of the tournament. Actually, it might be the first elimination or second elimination. It'll be Terrain. Yeah, so Theo is he's in the junk pile, and Terrain might join him there, unless he can turn this one around.
Yeah, Benbot builds that Rax nice and far forward, unfortunately for Terrain.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind that. SCV scouting is pretty rare in this matchup for humans and bots, so if you're cutting workers to build a barracks, it's pretty safe. Bet you're going to get it up. Actually throwing it down prior to Terrain, who's building it in his main base, so. And who also might have gone gas first? I wasn't really paying attention.
Yeah, I think so.
So, yeah. I think we're going to be seeing more of the same here. Reaper does take longer to build than a Marine, so yeah, I feel like by the time the Reaper's out, the bunker is going to be done or very close to done.
There's that bunker. Oh dear.
And there's also like, if you just kind of like click your Reaper across the map, he's not going to take the jump. He's going to run towards the bunker as well.
Yeah.
Which also isn't good. Because maybe the Reaper goes across the map and kills a whole bunch of SCVs, or maybe there's some sort of sequence of events that could happen if the Reaper got out.
Oh, SCV pull.
Oh, okay. So we have a response.
Yeah,
oh, it's like mine, and it just gives up the moment the bunker finishes. We saw that not work out well for me versus Benbots in week 2 or week 1? Week 1.
Okay, Reaper just dies, which is quite unfortunate. Command center getting shot away as one Marine feeds into that bunker. There's also an SCV to repair the bunker. Terrain tries to get the SCV, but Benbot pulls it away. Command center, we'll see if it gets canceled and immediately restarted, as it does. Then the depots actually block the SCV, so that's actually really good for Terrain.
I was actually looking for that in game 1. It's like, you know, if Benbot puts his stuff on the ramp, then he'll be saving SCVs for Terrain.
There's so many little things that can affect these games. The bunker in range of the command center shoots at it. A Marine tries to be a hero, but will get shot down.
Yeah, interesting. Terrain wasn't suiciding his Marines in game 1. So maybe just the SCV being there is like what he really wants to get at.
Oh, this is painful.
Yeah. The bunker is so far away from the command center that the SCV often lives. So
Yeah.
the SCV just survives long enough to like keep making more command centers and losing 100 minerals
Another
at a time.
Reaper was built. The command center has been paused, but now gets started once again. Tanks on the way for terrain. USCVs are down here to try and heal up. Benbot sends out a Hellion. Tank should be next to really lock down this contain. The Reaper or the Hellion actually gets into the main base.
Yep. I actually found the soft spot on the siege tank range as well.
Yeah. See if terrain can save that or not.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I was hoping for some deviations that could help terrain this game. And we've seen a lot of deviations, but they're not in the benefits of terrain. Things are just
No,
going
unfortunately
perfectly well
not.
for Benbot PC here.
Yeah, another tank is about to pop out. That may save its friend from being shot.
That's good. And that Hellion was not focusing the SCVs either, so just a little bit of chip damage on the tank, not a big deal. Don't know where that SCV is going.
Nice, and behind that bunker too, so.
Oh, he's distance mining.
Oh.
Huh. Okay, that's a little advantage over last game. He wasn't able to do that. He was trying to do it. He was sending down SCVs, and they take a blast to go back, get repaired.
Yeah.
This time they're actually making it down and coming back, and they don't have to pay for repair anymore. So this is definitely helping the income of terrain.
Yeah, last game it didn't have enough SCVs alive, as they just kept dying to long distance mine. Viking versus Viking goes the way of terrain as well. Tanks are slowly inching forward. This is good, as Benbot doesn't really have the high ground to help deal with that. Tanks, though, do end up pulling back, unfortunately. Command center gets immediately canceled.
Yeah. But I mean, yeah, you can see the income difference. Just the fact that he could even try to build a command center is something he never had the money for in game one. So that should at least mean his production's going nonstop. Yeah, actually getting 1-1 on his bio is interesting. I feel like with this mod probably has a really solid mid game. We're just we haven't been privileged enough to see it.
Yeah, like I mean, when it played against Eris, it went for that tank push that looked all right. It's just a matter of getting the plan off without being interrupted by a bunker proxy, and that is not happening here. Benbot behind this has got its natural up. It's building a battle cruiser. Terrain isn't inching out with the tanks. No. So if the bot author was to program something to counter this, having the tanks inch out would be one approach to try and deal with it. Another would be to build the CC on the high ground, or even just have more of a delay on trying to throw down the command center to prevent feeding as many SCVs.
Maybe after killing off this Marine count, it'll feel that his army size is large enough to make a little push. No, not the case. Throwing down a lot of 4 more barracks, though.
Yeah.
Or that's based on the timing. It's like, at this point in the game, I should have 4 bases, so I need more barracks. And
yeah, that's command center money right there.
Well, honestly, it's better than building a command center, because we all know what the result of that is.
Way, way better, yeah. Yeah, I wonder if you're right about that, and it is just like, hey, it's 6.5 minutes, or 7 minutes, or whatever, build some barracks.
Yeah. When I'm at 100 supply, I build some barracks. You can never assume the state of the game. That's the problem.
Yeah, that definitely is true. Tank does siege up. Is that going to be in range of the turret? Doesn't quite look like it, unfortunately.
Maybe it just doesn't have vision. With perspective, it might actually be close enough, because he's on the high ground. Question is, will he survive the siege tank? That was one thing. Well, Viking's trying to dive the enemy Viking. Which means the BCs are wailing away.
SCV is now charging at the enemy SCV.
And he did have range on actually the bunker as well as the missile turret.
Yeah, maybe terrain can break out of here, because I think Benbot may retreat once it loses the bunker. Don't quote me on that, but... Okay, apparently not.
I'm putting you on it.
sometimes Benbot does retreat after a rush has failed.
Yeah, he's gonna have trouble getting down the ramp because his own siege tanks is blocking, but he's trying.
Yeah.
He has air control still, so he can definitely crush through these tanks just with the vision. And he sieges his tanks at max range, which is something normal, and that does mean whoever has air control will win the tank battle. But now he's a little hesitant to go down the ramp again.
Yeah, battle cruisers coming on in. The Vikings are being repaired, I believe, which is quite important for terrain.
Oh, that's nice. That's something we missed from game 1. He wasn't doing that. Nothing challenging in the BC though. 2 Vikings do come out, say hello. One of them's going to say goodbye.
Yeah, Benbot's starting to take control of the skies. Looks like it will be able to win this one. Just off the back of this bunker rush. It's just such a strong strategy, and Benbot does a good job just holding that contain. And,
yeah, taking a big Viking lead as well now. So now everything is in the advantage of Benbot.
One of those strategies that if you want your bot to play some of the better bots on the ladder, you gotta counter things like this, and it's not an easy thing to do as a programmer, but
yeah, especially when you're starting out, you want to kind of get the basics down. You don't want to deal with like some crazy cheese that you're facing.
Yeah,
it's usually not the priority of people's lists.
Okay,
that's why the worker rush is always such a hassle. You know, it was so powerful. It was such an annoyance to build a defense to it because it took so much effort. It's like, why am I putting all this effort into like killing workers? No auto turret action? No.
Yeah, Benbot has air control, so there's no way terrain will win the tank versus tank fight. Just a matter of time until another couple battle cruisers roll on up for Benbot.
Yep. Or until Crip hits the fast forward button. I think we're ready at this point.
Yeah.
Maybe the BC gets pushed away. That's the most I can give. Okay. You did it. Small victories. Both of them got pushed away. One Viking beat on 2 BCs.
Yeah, so Benbot survives to fight another day. Terrain does fall out of this SC2 AI tournament, but yeah, Terrain's an exciting bot. We'll see if it gets updated in the future or returns.
Yeah, this was expected. I mean, Terrain had an unfortunate run up facing top bots, but Benbot
really was.
Yeah, Benbot has the potential to get to the 3-win threshold. So even though it started out 0-2.
Yeah, like it's really unfortunate for Terrain to come up against Sharkbot, Eris, and Benbot BC. It's not the easiest run there, but hopefully we'll see him back. And I've really enjoyed his games, so well done on making a really nice bot there. So yeah,
I mean, he's got the early wall off and he repairs, so I'm pretty sure he'd rush either bot from their first series today.
yes,
maybe not Theo, because Theo has the bailing bus portion, but I think he'd do pretty well against the other two, against a Elbow bot.
Yeah, it really was just a tough draw, but I look forward to seeing more Terrain in the future.
Yep. So next up, Ketroc, we have your bots coming up. One sec. First up is Sharkbot. Lost against Zozo with a win against Terrain. So yeah. Seeded 11, which is quite low for Sharkbot, I think.
Yeah. I think
still...
on the...
Yeah, still 1850 though. That's pretty...
Yeah.
It must have been pretty close on the ladder around that area.
Oh god,
because I think like 1900 could put you up to like 5th place or something. So
yeah, it was stupidly close. And you're actually seeded 10th. Yeah, so 1871, which is again stupidly close. Yeah. So
2 points, you could have been ahead of mine.
Yeah.
So week 1, I got to play against Benbot BC. Our bots are similar power level, but I just always have his number. This is the opposite this week. me and Sharkbot are similar power level, but Sharkbot always has my numbers. So let's cross my fingers that my bot pulls out something cheesy because I don't trust my bot in a longer game.
I mean, you never know. Hopefully, it'll when it really matters most, your bot always pulls out something good. So you know, and this is
Yeah, it's true. It had a great comeback from that contain against Benbot last week. So
yeah.
And I put my bot in the ladder so late in the season that I have like my bot has no data to work off of. So it's probably just kind of randomly selecting builds at this point. He's probably played Benbot like 4 times before this tournament started. So
all right, well, let's go.
Let's see. I gotta add more chat to my bot. I haven't done that since 2022 or something. Is probably the last chat message I put in my bot.
hey, so we've got Sharkbot in the bottom right and Ketroc in the upper left. And we are on Abyssal Reef for match number 1.
Yep, Sharkbot just roaming around looking for proxies, I think, as he's perhaps waiting to throw down to Nexus. No, he's going to go Gateway and gas, and his second gas even.
Yeah, double gas.
I think Sharkbot's not so like hardcore on the opening build orders. I could be wrong about that. Like a -0 is like, got it like drilled down to a science. Or Sharkbot's is like, I'll get there eventually. We'll get to the mid game and it'll be okay.
Sharkbot is a little bit chaotic in that regard for sure. The double gas does have me wondering if we're going to potentially see something like a 4-gate from Sharkbot, which is one of the things that makes you sort of question Sharkbot a little bit, because it does have this incredible macro, but then sometimes it's also not really focused on that and just cheeses. And we'll see if that's going to be the case in this game, as it's got the Cybercore on the way, a Zealot on the way. We'll see if it cancels the Zealot or not.
He does also have the best proxy Stargate build I've seen out of any bot, where he'll build like batteries and right outside your base and kind of going back and forth with Void Rays, recharging.
Yeah.
And switching to Tempest even. I do see something crossing the map, and it is heading towards the back of my base, so...
It's a probe!
That could be what we're up to against here.
Most dangerous unit in the game. Heading
There's
toward
some
the
truth to that, that's for sure.
And it's a Twilight Council on just one gateway for now for Sharkbot. Is it going to be like DTs or something? Blink or DTs?
I always have like my static defense, like bunkers and planetaries, just kill rocks if they just happen to be in range when they're idle.
Yeah.
But in this case, I definitely don't want to kill his rocks. I think my bot relies on that being there as part of the wall off. I don't think I'm walling off with this build anyway, so it doesn't matter too much, but certainly making that bunker less useful by killing those rocks.
Oh, wow, Dark Templar from a bot. This isn't something we see too often. Yeah, which... I mean, some bots build a lot of static defense, and I know your bot definitely gets turrets for a fact, but how soon is the question.
Yeah. He'll probably think to start getting turrets when he sees a Dark Templar, which is not early enough, I don't believe.
Yeah.
It's going to be one base out of Sharkbot, though. He's just distance mining for the extra minerals. He has pre-mined so much gas early on by going double gas that he'll have no problem building non-stop DTs if that's his goal.
Yeah, Warp Gate, just a few seconds away from completing at this point, and then that those DTs will be able to be warped in. Your bot goes for a third command center on location, which is a greediness that I definitely love. However, is still looking to be blindsided by these DTs.
Yeah, I'm trying to like recall in my brain is like, does my bot scan versus DTs? I actually don't know the answer to that. The answer might be no. It might be waiting for a Raven.
A fourth command center goes down for your bot as well. The tank and the bunker are going to deal with the Stalker and the Zealot. it's kind of going to be the question: will the DTs go for the mineral line, or are they going to just go for the bunker? They bypass the bunker. Does your bot raise the wall? Yes, it does against the DTs. That's incredibly important. However, DTs can cut through a wall. SCVs are being pulled, but I'm not sure it's enough, quick enough. No eBay building yet. No scan getting dropped down. Yeah, it's not looking like we're seeing a scan yet, but that's because your bot dropped a mule prior to this.
Yeah, by opening double factory, the Stargate is so late, so there's not going to be a Raven here.
Yeah, and eBay's on the way as well, but that is very vulnerable to the DTs where it's being built.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there are a couple Cyclones out, I believe. I don't think they've died. Maybe they have. We haven't seen them natural yet, but...
Yeah, that bunker's getting worked on right now.
Okay, what am I talking about? Everything's dead. There is nothing left for Ketroc.
No more scans. Wow, Sharkbot with the cheeky Dark Templar rush. Like, I don't know if I've ever seen this in a bot game, or if I have, it's been so long. It just goes to show that Sharkbot is an incredibly diverse bot. With its Blink DTs now hunting down the last command centers.
You notice how there's a probe under my command center?
Yeah.
That's because I used to PF rush Sharkbot a lot. I used to like just do mass planetaries when we reached the late game, and you just like track a probe under all of my command centers, so I'd never be able to land them.
That is some meta right there.
I don't know if I've seen that from Sharkbot before. That might be a new tactic there. So really well done there, Sharkbot. Like, but yeah.
Yeah, that was impressive. Like that build.
It was kind of unlucky because you just literally dropped the mule and then he hit with the Dark Templars and it's like, there's your scan. Sorry.
I'm not sure if my bot scans for DTs or not. The scan is very specific how I use it. Because I found it to be useless versus like burrowed roaches, for instance. Like you scan them and then they all just scatter. And it's like, okay, I just wasted 100 to 225 minerals. Yeah. So I had them for very specific things, like sniping observers when I'm going banshees and stuff like that. I'm not sure if DTs is one of the scenarios.
Cool. All right, well, let's have a look and see if your bot can come back in game 2.
Okay.
Okay. Looks like my bot's trying to break up the cheese himself. With the strategy of mech all in.
Yeah, is this actually like a full one base that you're going to be going for?
This is a full one base.
Okay.
However, this is a full one base with 0 detection, so
oh dear.
Let's hope we're not facing the same double gas opening here. I think Sharkbot might mix it up. I don't know what his decision process is, but I don't think he's been one of those bots that like, I'm going to do the same thing until I lose. I think he always like, I got like 4 builds I think might work versus this guy. I'm just going to randomize it with those 4 builds. Okay, never mind. Double gas. Okay. So the question is, how fast will these DTs come out compared to the mech all in? Mech is, you know, it's a second layer of tech, so it doesn't come out as fast as like a Reaper all in or something. I'm not too confident for Ketroc here.
Oh dear.
Unless I scan. You know, scanning when you're going for a bunch of tanks can mean a lot of like instantaneously dead Dark Templar.
Yeah.
It could also turn really base tradey. Like the DTs did. Like, will they defend? I don't know. Right? Sharkbot is one basing himself. He probably with this build isn't thinking about defense very much. He's thinking about ending the game on his one base DT stuff.
Yeah, there's that Zealot on the way. Not that it was too big of a factor in the previous game. It was all about the DTs. Double factory.
I think maybe my bot gets a late Raven with this build. Does my bot get a Raven with the mech all in? Maybe not. Okay, so the proxy is ready to be set. A little further away this time, though.
Yeah,
I'm guessing that's just for forward warp in, right? I didn't really
yeah,
pay too much attention to it last game.
I believe so. This is going to be really interesting because like there's so many little factors. Your bot's not expanding, so that Zealot and Stalker that Sharkbot sent in before the DTs, like that could make your SCVs pull off sooner to repair the wall quicker. If that, just little things like that can have big changes to the games, even though everyone's doing the same thing. Although it isn't a complete wall from your bot, which is a little bit concerning.
Yeah, it actually uses the barracks in this build, so it didn't build it on the wall. It built it somewhere where it could put a reactor on it.
Mule gets dropped as well, which is unfortunate.
Once my bot knows it needs detection, this is mule boost. I don't know if you saw that, but I'm able to actually boost my mule to get an extra mining round out of it.
Oh, okay. Is that with like
yeah.
speed mining or?
It's different because you can't speed mine with mules. I actually hold position a couple SCVs and it like pops off the SCVs.
Okay.
You just like collision with SCVs to get it. Because if you notice a mule on a close patch, it always does like 9.99 trips, so then explodes.
Yeah.
So it's like I'm like, where if I can get an extra 0.1 out of that?
Huh. That's really cool. That's probably something that just your bot does.
Yeah, my bot will start saving scan energy once it knows that there's any sort of detection things it needs, and it is actually going to move out first. However,
Yeah.
early first. DTs are warping in as we speak.
I believe that might have just been another mule that just dropped, unfortunately.
Yeah. But until it sees a reason to save energy, it's not going to save energy.
Okay, DT's coming on in. Some of your units are still hanging out. Okay, there's a chat tag. I don't think we saw that last game from your bot versus Dark Templar, which is interesting. The wall actually gets built. Something got built in that wall.
The Inge Bay, because it wants detection now. So it's like, okay, we desperately need missile turrets. I do like that the tanks are actually not coming back to defend, I guess, but continue to progress.
We've got 2 more tanks building. The eBay is not happening. We're probably 15 energy away from a scan still, at least.
Ketroc is super dead. The question is, can he make Sharkbot also super dead? I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe if he can force the DTs back, he'll be able to build detection.
There is the possibility. The eBay did finish up, but it did drop another mule, unfortunately.
Yeah, well, I mean, Ketroc's super broke anyway, so he needs to cash as much as he needs the missile turret. Or as much as he needs to scan. And I think there's DTs defending now, so yeah, this is like full death for Ketroc as the tanks run.
Well done, Sharkbot, able to do the dirty DT cheese twice.
Yeah, I like how it works on the defense and the offense. It's very nice.
Yeah, it's one of those things. It's a lot of work as a bot author to program detection efficiently. So, yeah, it's great build choice, and it's really well done by Sharkbot.
Very cool build.
Everyone hates DTs, right? Especially when they're in your base killing your workers. Sorry, but
yeah, there's one behind Dark Shrine, and then there's also when the game starts. Dark
Shrine. Yeah, no, pretty good. So your bot will drop down into the 1 and 2 territory. In danger of elimination, but still with a good shot, I think, of coming back in that. Sharkbot will move up into the 2 and 1. Interestingly, if you go 3 and 1, you will avoid the top 2 bots, so there is the advantage of that. So that's still a good chance there for Sharkbot.
So if you finish 3 and 1 in the next round, you don't have to face one of the perfect bots.
Yes.
Which is probably going to be Eris -0. My guess would be.
Oh, it won't be Eris -0.
Oh, they're facing each other.
They're facing each other.
All right. That'll be interesting
so,
too.
So next up, we will find out who will be our first bot into the quarterfinals.
Hey.
We have we have Zozo taking the 1-0 against Sharkbot and Dominion Dog. Seeded 6, so not predicted to be one of the top 2, but could very well be one of the top 2.
He's had some deep runs. His cheese is at maximum form.
He's Protoss, so he's got to have some good cheese.
Yeah, even look at that ELO, even on the ladder, almost 2K.
Yeah,
So yeah, he's right up there.
It's a really, really impressive season. And next up we have Zena, our third seeded bot with 2066 elo. So yeah.
Wow, number 3. Well done, Team Zena.
Yeah, taking out 12 pool bot and micro machine on the way.
Is Zena written in C++?
I
feel like it's not.
Possibly. I don't know. What's Zena written in? It's a compiled binary, so yeah.
Oh yeah, well yeah, everything says C++.
Yeah. For some reason, everyone says C++. I don't know. Yeah, but it's a compiled binary, so yeah. Either way, very impressively made bot. So yeah, and looking to book its place into the quarterfinals. I'll get that loaded up in a second. Obviously, Zena is the random bot, so we could see anything. Like,
yeah, I'm not trying to predict this at all.
yeah. And the great thing about
Zena's Haskell, I think he went the full hardcore functional programming language.
Oh wow!
Just came back to me.
Even more impressive.
Yeah.
Oh god, that's good. Right, I'll get this up.
All right, this will probably be a cheesy one.
Yep.
Okay, spawning down in the bottom right, we have the red Protoss Zozo with the probe on the move already. Meanwhile, in the top right, spawning as Protoss as the random bot, it is Zena.
Yeah, Zena saying it's going to do safe macro as well, which is interesting.
Well, emphasis on the word safe if he's going to survive whatever Zozo's bringing. I'm going to guess that gateway flower, as we don't see any gas on the way yet.
It's PvP, so expanding is definitely a risky business. And oh my gosh, it's building it right in the front of Zena's base. Like that is the most obvious position, but Zozo does not care. As it comes on into scout, it's up against a Protoss, sends that probe back, but Zena sends a little probe out, but it kind of freezes on top of that ramp, interestingly enough. Okay, 3 gateways up. There's the 4th for Zozo, completing the flower. And not being blocked this game, but okay, Zena scouts it. Attacking the proxy, though, this is... Okay, it doesn't actually pull probes, which is actually very important, because pulling probes is the worst thing you can do against a gateway flower.
Yeah, but if you saw his resources, he was actually saving up for a Nexus, and now he's throwing down a second gateway in response, spending that Nexus money on a Zealot second gateway and now a Cybercore. So
yeah,
very nice response out of this. Eventually, he's going to be able to build Stalkers, and that's going to be a big advantage over a mass Zealot army.
Yeah, definitely. Now, it's quite scary how many Zealots Zozo will be able to have prior to Zena getting out a couple of Stalkers, though, as there's the Chrono Boost being dumped into those gateways, and Zena is now pulling away with its 1 Zealot upon seeing the 2 of Zozo. So some probes are going to need to be pulled into the fight for this. Zena does have a battery on the way. It's up at the front. The Zealot is fighting for Zena. However, Zozo actually sends one of the other Zealots by and doesn't help out, so that actually lets the fight be a little bit better for Zena. Zena targets down the injured Zealot to actually pick that off, and now it's a Zealot versus Zealot fight that's very close, and Zena's Zealot actually wins that fight somehow. Probes are pulled and doing some very cool micro against that Zealot. The battery's now done, so it can actually heal up these probes. Stalker is out. Incredible micro by Zena's probes to zap these zealots and retreat. There's the battery overcharge, so nothing should really be dying against these zealots for now.
Yeah, I mean, with that stalker out, that's a big deal. There is still a lot of zealots here, but the probes really are negating that in a big way.
Yeah, the probe
Just
micro
getting
is
those drills
incredible.
in and yeah, mineral locking back, keeping them alive. Maybe not mining as much as he wants to be, especially with the zealot in the mineral line right now.
Yeah, not mining much at all. However, it has been able to get out 2 stalkers. The concern is, though, that the stalkers aren't really firing as they run away from these zealots. Like, we see the pathing of the zealots just keeping the stalkers moving. Once the zealots do turn to target the probes, though, the stalkers start firing. There's now 3 stalkers out. As this game is just pure chaos. There's zealots just all over the place. Probes running around, not mining at all. But still, Zena getting up to 3 stalkers. It may eventually be able to whittle these down. And eventually that battery overcharge should come off cooldown as well. And that would definitely be a big help.
This is actually incredible by Zena here. He's not mining much at all, but nothing is getting killed by these zealots. They're getting like a probe here and there. But yeah, these stalkers are just not taking hits. I think he could not build another stalker and still win this game. I think these 3 stalkers.
Yeah.
They're not getting trapped in the corner. They're smart enough. Like they're not shooting at points and times where they would get trapped if they did shoot. So I kind of like that. He does kind of have like when he's running directly away from his zealot, he stops the fire and then changes his mind, which isn't great. But,
yeah, it's not ideal, but it's still playing for time right now. Kills off 1 more of those zealots. Probes are now running around. 1 stalker is getting slashed at by a zealot, as it did kind of get cornered to the north. It does get out, though.
Yeah,
the
took some
battery
hull
healing
damage
up a little bit. Pylon goes down, so gateway's unpowered right before another zealot pops out. Like Zozo's just doing its thing, spamming out more and more zealots. Some of the stalkers have been bruised up quite a bit. They're being chased away from the new battery overcharge. That battery overcharge does allow Zena's zealot just to fight the good fight, though. This game is just so chaotic.
Yeah, the stalkers don't actually try to stay in the battery range, but sometimes they just get guided in there, then boom, all their shields are back. Zealot actually made it out to join the fight, so now it's 4 stalkers and 1 zealot.
Yeah,
some mining time getting done
stalker
behind seated as well, which is really nice. Allows him to get his gateway active again. I keep looking at the minimap across the map because I do know Zozo transitions at some point. And Zozo has been mining a lot more. He's lost a lot more, but his mining's been like, you know, full 16 workers at mining at home, where Zena's been like half not mining for this game.
Yeah, 5 stalkers are out for Zena. Able to just kill these zealots quite quickly.
Yeah. And I think it's going to be clean up at this point.
Yeah,
still maintain 15 workers. Yeah. Yeah, that was really nice. Single stalker died, correct?
And I don't believe so. So Zena micro does pretty darn well. 1 got bruised a little bit. Zena elects to go for an expansion, which it may be able to hold, as that's just going to be able to soak a ton of damage. The zealots are just endlessly chasing the stalkers. And still no transition for Zozo. I'm wondering if it's like the 7-minute mark where it will transition. Stalker gets caught and almost gets killed, but
yeah, battery kind of in range of the ramps. Every time you walk back up the ramp, you get the nice little zap back to full. And no gas being taken by Zozo, so I would have hoped a transition would have started a little earlier. Yeah. But I guess it's going to be like when he loses the proxy, this is the only time he recognizes that it's going bad.
Yeah, we even crossed the 7-minute mark and still nothing, so...
Reminds me of that old game. Reminds me of that old game between Naniwa and Huck, where
oh gosh,
it was like 2 zealots versus 1 stalker, but the stalker had to stay on the offense.
Yeah,
like really take 1 more slash. It's like that, except like 5 of those games happening at the same time. Yeah, so unfortunately, these zealots are not getting much done. Keeping the stalkers busy, but not much beyond that.
49 dead,
zealots dead. Wow. Yeah, we do
Oh,
have an expansion now out of Zena.
the third one, wow.
Yeah, why not? Let's just expand on both sides of the proxy, because why not?
Pylon's still alive for Zozo. In fact, it actually has a second pylon next to those gateways.
So the fact that he hasn't killed the proxy meant Zozo never transitioned, and now Zozo is like dead in the water because he has what, 4 mineral patches left? 2? 2 mineral patches left? It's hard to even tell. Okay,
Yeah,
he's down
it's
to
not
4.
even not even long distance mining, unfortunately.
No.
Yeah, I wonder what the requirement is to transition. Is okay, we have 1 dead pylon. Still no transition. 4th Nexus goes up for Zena. A zealot pops out in the middle of the flower.
Let me make a hole for you. The flower turned into a donut. And 2 more stalkers, 2 more zealots, and then silver. Nope. Okay, he canceled the zealots, so he probably is going to transition now. It's way too late.
Builds the Nexus. Yeah, it is unfortunately way too late. Barring a crash or anything from Zena, there isn't much hope for Zozo. Zena does sometimes like to sit back, but not in this game. Charges across the map and cleans house. Well done by Zena. That micro was really a spectacle.
Yeah.
How well those probes were just fanning out. Like, yeah, that was great to see.
Yeah, that's something Zena does really well, is like the micro of the units, and they do it with every single unit from every single race. It's just really crazy how good that bot has got.
Yeah, in some ways Zena's basic, but we did a post bots on the way he moves units, and it's really advanced. Like the units are even aware of other units, like other friendly units around, so they try to space themselves out in certain ways and get concaves in certain ways, and they're aware of terrain. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's amazing. All right, let's have a look at the game 2. Let's see if Sharkbot can make a comeback here. Always possible.
It's one of the things that's so fun about casting Zena. You never know what race it's going to roll. So the second game will probably be nothing like the first one, except maybe that Zozo will go for proxy zealots.
Or maybe not. Zozo has a lot of different tactics, so that's good. Anyway, let's go.
Expanding is not one of them.
Okay, Zerg build Roach all in by Zena, so we got Zerg.
Okay, roaches are definitely a good counter to zealots if you get them out in time. Yeah, so no gas being taken, 1 probe going across the map. So not worker rush, it's gotta be cannon rush or proxy gate.
Yeah,
proxy
I
gate
wonder
zealot.
how Zozo selects builds, whether it's based off like win rate and this is just the best build for it.
I feel like he just brought the zealot build, even though in the past he's had so much success with worker rushes and fake worker rushes and half worker rushes.
Yeah,
it just feels like this is what's working for him nowadays. You know, people have probably improved a bot against his bot and against other cheeses. So
I guess that makes sense. But like a lot of the times it would just do like 4-gate stalker and stuff too, so which wasn't quite as cheesy as this. Yeah, but here we go. Gateway Flower going up. Zena has an Overlord, but it is not quite seeing this.
No, I don't think it's in vision range.
Yeah.
So fast roaches is definitely the counter to zealots, but these are like the fastest and the most zealots you could ever face. So like this is built right in your face, and it's like 4-gate zealots. So there could definitely be a possibility with like 4 zealots roaming the base before a single roach has gotten out.
Yeah.
But we kind of saw that last game, you know, with the Zena's micro. He's kind of okay with just like running drones around waiting for the roaches to appear.
Yeah, it can backfire a little bit. Like if it doesn't have the units, the probes don't actually or the workers don't always fight. Sometimes they'll just run indefinitely, but there's a roach already on the way. Queen's out. Burrow gets started immediately, which is going to be huge to defending this. That is not great for Zozo. And I just love how Zozo, like the audacity of Zozo just to build this literally like right in the opponent's natural.
We talk about how Zozo picks his builds, but I'm wondering if this build was specifically selected to be a hard counter to Zozo, because it feels like this is like the best thing you could possibly do versus Proxy Zealot.
Oh yeah, no, I meant like Zozo, like how Zozo picks its build. Zena definitely uses win rates.
Yeah.
So makes sense.
Like if I were to change something in Zena's build to be better against what he's facing, I don't think I would change a thing.
No,
Like
I don't think
this is
so
possible
either.
roaches. Okay. Yep. Like nothing beats roach. Nothing beats zealots like that.
Attacking the proxy with 10 supply, that's very cool how Zena just actually knows where the proxy is and declares that as a target too. Queen coming down to help out. Zealots coming on in. It's quite a choke point for the roaches, and there's just so many roaches. Zena has just absolutely destroyed this proxy.
So that was almost an example there where the roaches in the back weren't pushing forward. They weren't blocking the roaches in the front. They were actually able to like come back as in sequence.
That's incredible.
Yeah,
And,
yeah.
Zozo is one dead nerd, one dead bot.
He certainly looks that way. He will transition way earlier this time, as soon as that second pylon goes down. So he won't be like broke on empty base like in game one. But he's got to have something against whatever 15 roaches this is with Burrow, which I don't think he's going to have. That's the thing, Zozo does have the ability to go like one base, Robo, Immortal, all in sort of idea.
Yeah, that's kind of what I wish we'd have seen,
Like,
because like, it's got some incredible unit micro itself.
Yeah. And that's what he's going for right now. So he's taking the gas, he's taking the expand. But he needs these roaches to sit at home, because he cannot handle them right now.
Yeah.
And unfortunately for him, the message is not saying stay at home and let Zozo get back into the game. It's saying something very different.
Zena is quite the killer, and that's exactly what it's going to do, as Zozo is in... It's just dead.
Yeah. Burrow's even done now, so like not a single roach is going to die to this.
Yeah, did Zena lose a single unit this game? I don't think so.
Maybe he was stuck in that choke, but no. Yeah, this is
No.
going to be a perfect game, I think. Like, not only does he have Burrow, but he's facing nothing but probes. Like, there's not going to be even a Zealot. He's had to rebuild from Gateway in terms of his tech. It would be nice if Zozo built through down the Cyber Core before losing the Gateway.
Yeah. This just goes to show the power of having your bot select builds based on win rates.
Yeah, that's
a perfect counter.
It's a perfect game. Literally 0 units lost.
Yeah, nothing
GG.
lost there. GG, guys. Well, Zena is going into our quarterfinals. First bot qualified with a perfect game. You don't often see perfect games, so congratulations there. That's awesome.
Yeah, that was phenomenal by Zena.
Yeah. All right. That's going to be a very quick cast actually today. So that's going to be all we got time for this week. We're going to come back next week with the remaining 4 games from round 3. So that will be, I think, Eris versus -0, top of the top of the set.
Number
That's
1
gonna be
against
a
number
fun
2
one.
right there.
Yeah,
I
that'll
think
be a great
since our last cast, who number 1 is and who number 2 is actually swapped. So that's how close these guys are.
It did swap for a little bit, yeah.
And swap back. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is
That's
only
very
on
close
the pre-season. We're going to be setting up with the new season next week. So make sure everyone to get your bots on the ladder. So that's going to be a good one. We're also going to see Micro Machine Cannon, which is I'm really looking forward to. ZVT. One test versus Sharpened Edge and Tom test against Dominion Dog, which are all 1-on-1 bots. So looking to move up or into the 2-on-1 bracket. So that's going to be a fun one.
Yeah, great games today, and always fun to see how the best of 3 element plays into it. So
yeah, coming back with best of
Yeah, we got
threes.
nice diversity in these best of threes. We didn't get a duplicate game 1 and game 2, did we?
Not
Even like in
really,
the
no.
first series that we thought for sure was going to be a duplicate, it turned out kind of completely different. Almost looked
Yeah,
like Don was about to take it.
yeah, I guess the closest one would have been Benbot versus Terrain was fairly similar.
Oh,
but
that's true. That's true. Yeah,
Yeah,
forgot
uh,
about that one.
but no, it's been
yeah,
some really exciting games, and was really good to see Shockbot against your bot. Like, so that was a really fun series.
Yeah, nice to see new builds.
Yeah. So awesome. But yeah, next week we have changed the schedule. Originally, we were going to have 8 best of threes this week, which we decided was probably like a bad idea because we'd probably be on there for like 3 or 4 hours or something. So yeah, so we're going to do the remaining of round 3 next week, and then week after we will have 5 games for you, which is going to be all of round 4 except for one game. And then in the final week, we will have 4 games, which is the last game of the round 4 and the final 3 games of round 5. This does add an extra complication because we will have to do the draw for round 5 before we know all the results, which means we'll have to do a either or basis, whatever. But that's just the way it works out, I'm afraid, and yeah, we'll figure our way through it. So there has been a slight change to the format, which we apologise for, but it does give the bot authors 1 extra week to prepare their bots for the knockout rounds. So make sure you take advantage of that and come back with some awesome new tactics.
yeah, I think it's exciting that there's stages in this tournament that bot authors can publish updates if they wish. Maybe a little bit of metagaming or something like that.
Yep. So you will know the quarterfinal draw before you need to publish your updates. So that should be good. Anyway, that's about all we have for tonight. Ketroc, Laughing Games, thank you very much for joining us again. You've been great to have, and you're awesome casting. Thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you so much for having me and for organizing this.
Yep, and
Yeah,
everyone.
see you next week, everyone.
Yeah,
That was
thanks for
awesome.
tuning in. See you next week.
Bye, everyone.